It's Stacy Wood here with Through the Woods Consulting with Shannon Siriano Greenwood. And I'm so excited to introduce you to her if you don't already know her. But first, just a little review. We are here for the Working Like a Woman series where I bounce around town and interview people that basically I think are amazing, and it's a great excuse for me to pick their brains, and I figure I might as well share that with the rest of the world. So this is just all about women living an empowered life in the way they want to and working the way that works for them to reach their goals in a manner that just makes sense to them instead of following all the traditional rules. So we are going to dig right in just 1 second, but remember, stick around after the video, look for the link at the bottom. There will be more questions with Shannon up on the blog, more deep thought where we can really pick into your brain for all your genius. But for now, I'm going to let Shannon introduce herself before we get going.
Thank you, Stacey. I'm so excited to be here.
So glad to be
For
here.
real. So my name is Shannon Siriano Greenwood, and I am the founder of Rebelle Con and the Rebelle community. And we are a boutique conference and a local community that our whole goal is to help women define their own version of success so that they can create a life that they love. So obviously that's how we are connected.
Yes, I've been a huge fan since I found it, and I do everything I can not to miss an event. And the conferences are amazing, like a must do if you are anywhere near Richmond and haven't been yet.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, I'm really proud of what we're doing to, share the behind the scenes of women that are either traditionally successful or internally successful, so they can share about, what their lives look like and how they've decided to go down the path that they've gone. So I really liked the intro to what you're doing too, because, we're all about rule breakers and people that don't follow the traditional path, and even if they start down the traditional path, they find their pivot points to make things align more for themselves. We're in a really interesting time that this is an option for us.
I know. So many options that, and I work in the corporate space a lot, so a lot of the conversations we have there is, if this isn't working for you, there's so much room to speak to your employer and talk about tweaking it, because companies are open to that now, whereas 10 years ago, it wasn't an option. 20 years ago, it definitely wasn't, but encouraging women to define what really works for them and then ask for that.
Times they are changing.
They're good stuff. Before we hop into the questions, where is the best place for people to link up with Rebelle Community, Rebelle Con, find out more?
Oh, thank you. So you can find a lot of information about us at rebellecon.com, and Rebelle is spelled REBELLECON.com. Instagram, same thing, Rebelle Con. You can also find out information at therebellecommunity.com if you want to type more letters. And you can find me on Instagram at @sSiriano.
All right. Well, let's do it. You ready?
Yeah.
Rapid fire.
Do it.
But it's never really rapid fire with me because I like to talk.
Yeah, we're going to chit chat.
So that's all right. That's what makes it fun. We'll do 10 questions.
Okay.
They start really easy, and then we'll go from there.
Birthday, got it.
Yes. First question is, what is your favorite accessory?
That's easy.
Yeah, I know.
That's
hard. It's not like a deep thought question. That's easy.
Well, honestly, I don't really wear a lot of accessories, so I'm gonna go with shoes.
Yes, it's a good one.
Because I do love a statement shoe.
Yeah. And that's pretty much your signature.
I think so. Yeah.
You always have like a power.
Pretty wild
statement shoe.
Yeah.
Which I adore.
I do that over like traditional accessories. You know why? Because I'm allergic to metal. So really, I can't wear a lot of jewelry. It's like a thing.
Especially if it's cheap jewelry, it'll just
even expensive jewelry. It really bothers me. I know. My husband's very lucky. No. My ears are pierced, but no.
But he figured that out.
No earrings. Really, no necklaces. I can get away with a bracelet once in a while, but they just bother me.
Wedding ring okay?
My wedding ring is okay. It's platinum and very old.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, at least your husband has nothing else to buy for you then.
I know, he's very lucky.
All right. Question number 2. And this one always intrigues me because it's so different for everyone. What is the favorite part of your day?
Fascinating.
we do so many things in our day, but what part like just brings you the most joy?
Great question. Well, I will say lately, the morning, like right when I wake up, because my children, I have 2 little ones, are finally sleeping till like 6:37.
Best phase ever.
Yeah, so I like wake up before someone's screaming, which is so weird. It's usually like 5 minutes before, but even that 5 minutes of like eyes being open and being like, oh, the day's begun.
Yeah.
And then
Before
someone screaming mommy or daddy or whatever.
There's such a difference in having that second to wake up
Oh.
versus being woken up, right? Because my kids are probably a little bit older than yours. Mine are now 6 and 8.
Yeah.
And so
They
it's
sleep.
beautiful.
You wake up first.
Yes. Well, I mean, I get up really early, so I work out before they get up. But when they were little, I didn't because you're so exhausted.
No, you're so exhausted.
And
yeah, I'm
the
not there
second
yet.
you can sleep, you sleep.
Yes.
And yeah, your day for like 5 or 6 years starts with screaming.
Yeah.
So
I would say that's definitely a big one. The other thing is I really do get to like hang out with really cool people, like pretty much every day.
Yeah.
I meet with someone that's interesting, and so anytime that I get to meet a new person, that's the most exciting part of my day too.
So fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number 3 is, what would you say your hobby is?
Okay, so I have a good answer for this.
Oh, okay.
I am a new plant mom.
I don't know what that means.
It means I have plants and I'm like obsessed with them.
And you keep them alive?
Yes.
This is kind of a
So I
strange
never
concept to me.
ever did, and now I do. And so I have a bunch of houseplants that I'm like obsessed with, and I like talk to them and I like water them and I move them around my house. And I've been gardening in my backyard. So here's the thing, and you understand this because you have kids. So if you have kids, you'll understand.
Yeah.
I used to think having plants was like having a pet, but having a plant is actually much more like having a child because there is no way to know what to do.
Oh yeah,
Like
it can't tell you.
No, it can't tell you,
Yeah.
and then it'll start looking droopy, and you have no idea what it needs, and you have to like,
Yes.
like kind of like detective, like figure it out, and like try different stuff. And everyone is so different, and they have different temperaments, and they like different things. And so I feel like now that I'm kind of like getting in my groove a little bit as a parent, I'm like getting into my groove as a plant mom, and that my plants are like, and the same thing, like they'll start growing and thriving,
And you're like, I did that.
and it's really like, no, you just like watered it.
You just
but like,
didn't kill it.
right, yeah.
But
So
that's
it's,
pretty amazing.
it's very similar. So I'm like obsessed with my plants. So I say start small,
Yeah.
get like a Trader Joe's little tropical, and if you can keep it alive 6 months, then like you're golden.
And you just go.
Keep going.
I, for the first time ever, every year I drive my poor husband crazy because I'm gonna have like a pot of herbs out on the porch, so we have fresh herbs, and I just destroy them every year.
Herbs are hard.
Well, this year I finally got smart. My actually thanks to my mom, she was out of town, so I had to go to her house and water her plants for her. And I learned that when you set it up for success, it's so much easier. So
you have to water them.
yes, you do.
Weird. And you can't like put them in the super hot sun.
Yeah, and learning like where they belong. So I now have a pot of herbs and a tomato plant and a blackberry bush on my porch.
You're a plant mom too.
Literally growing. I actually got fruit off of the blackberries.
That's a
and
big deal.
The herbs are, and it was so easy as
Isn't it
actually
so fulfilling?
planting them right and having a hose right there.
It's so fulfilling.
I feel like
It's like growing children.
like a really amazing person, actually.
No, you are.
'Cause
Good job. Yes, that's my new hobby.
41 years of failure and finally
Hey man,
figured it out. All right, I like that hobby.
no rules.
Number 4, what is your most inspirational song or a song that you're loving right now that just, brings
Well, you know I
you
used to be a
somewhere?
fitness instructor, right?
I didn't know that. I knew you were a dancer, but I didn't know.
So I used to be a fitness
So you're gonna
instructor.
bust out some Zumba up here?
No, I'm not a Zumba. I used to teach cycling, indoor cycling.
Oh.
So like inspirational music is my jam.
Thing.
And I had one song that I always play, and God, I don't even know the name of the song, but I do know like the major quote, which is also my favorite quote, Rage Against the Machine, which like 90s, like throwing it back. As a song that like the last line goes, It has to start someplace. It has to start sometime. What better place than here? What better time than now?
Such a good song, yes.
Right?
Okay.
It's so good. So that, like, without question, that's my jam.
So showing our age right now, but one of the best.
Yeah, like the best age
Best
that like the 90s were the best.
I love it. Okay, I'm gonna have to get smart and figure out how to like loop that in.
Yeah, like in the video.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an IT person, don't judge me. I'm doing my best to loop that in.
Yeah.
It's such a good song. All right. So sidetracked now. All right, bucket list. We all have bucket lists in life, and a lot includes travel, but it includes other things too. So I don't need to necessarily know your number one thing, but I would be curious to hear something on your bucket list.
Gosh, I don't know. I don't really have one. I really am trying to like live in the present more and not make a lot of lists of like things to achieve and to do, because I think I used to live really strivey like that. And I had lists and I would be like, I need to like travel to all these places and I need to achieve these goals and I need to, you know, do things. And I don't know, I'm in this place now where like most of like the most amazing stuff I did were never on any list. You know what I mean? Like I never like, some of like my best, most wonderful memories and the things that I'm so excited that I got to experience, never would I have thought about them or put them on a list. So I'm trying to be listless.
I like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a bucket list of its own. We're just gonna tweak that
You can
into.
answer like that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna answer for you.
Yeah. No list.
Your list is to not have a list.
There we go.
I like
Check.
that. Powerful.
Done.
I could use a little bit of that in my life. Number 6 is, obviously I think you have a lot of fantastic qualities, or what invited you here.
Well, thank you.
Own that up. But what do you think is your best quality?
My best quality. I think I want to say empathy. Like I practice empathy, like for real.
Yeah.
You know, I think in the space that I work in, which is, you know, very much like inspiration and motivation and like helping people, you know, make changes in their lives. I think what I don't like about that space is people saying like, I have the answer for you. Or like the way that I've achieved things or the way that I've lived my life, like you should learn from me, you should follow in my footsteps. And I'm so against that at like a foundational core level. Like people go through hard stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And I know when I have ever been going through hard stuff, I would not have responded well to someone being like, oh, well just try harder.
Yeah.
Or like
do it
pick
this
yourself
way.
up.
Yes.
And like it's gonna be hard and you just gotta fight through. Like that, I'm just not down.
That's a big middle finger.
Right. Like I feel like understanding that everyone is different and everyone's goals are different, and there's just way too much like striving happening in our culture, and I think the only way you really get to the bottom of that is through empathy and like the practice of empathy.
Do you find that you've always had that character, and or do you think that motherhood has brought that out more in you? Because I know for me, once I had my own kids, like even if you're not ready to practice empathy, you gotta get down with it, because you've got these little humans that are their own and you're trying to help them through all their tough stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if motherhood has necessarily changed it, but it definitely changes as you get older, right? Yeah. Because I think when you're younger, you're just much more ego focused and you're in your own little bubble and you don't really understand that anyone is dealing with anything different.
Right, because you're
the center of the universe. And it's not until you get older and you realize that there's just so many things outside of your control. Yes. And those things are outside of everyone's control. So expecting things out of someone without really understanding like what barriers and challenges and trauma and things that have gone on in their lives, like you just have no understanding of where that person's starting place is.
I think that's a perfect way to put it. Yeah, because I think the 20s is
in my 20s I'm
all about me.
Literally.
Yeah.
I say like I'm a really mean drunk person. So I have no friends from my 20s. Like I only have like friends like from when I was grown up, and I realized that I'm like that.
You're like,
so like clearly in my 20s I was not practicing empathy. I was practicing
there's a
drinking
season.
a lot.
There's a season for everything as we drink our water today. It's all right. It's good to hydrate.
Yes.
All right. So best qualities, empathy. Number 7, and I know this will be a good one for you because you do a lot of helping women with this. Is how do you invest in yourself?
You gotta get super selfish, which I know like makes people very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it's like you have to put yourself first. I mean, the ways that I do it, I mean, I literally like invest, like spend money on it. Like I hired a therapist and I hired a life coach. I've worked with energy healers. I go to the doctor like on a regular schedule, and a dentist.
I'm a huge
and like all those things that people don't do. Like
it shocks me when I find out that people don't actually go to the doctor on a regular basis.
No, they go when they're really sick.
Yes,
and that's it.
And these are educated people.
Doesn't matter.
I know.
You know, I literally spend the time and I spend the money to make sure that I'm healthy and well mentally. Physically. I mean, I could do other things better. I could eat better. I could exercise more. But again, the stage in your life where I also have to realize like what I can do and what I can't. I think when I first had kids, I was still trying to live my life before kids, and that was really defeating and depleting.
Yes.
And now I recognize like I am spending a lot more energy caring for other people, which means I have to care for myself even more, which just means like prioritizing in time. Like you don't have time to do it all, so you have to pick your top priorities. And for me, it was my mental health first, and then rest and sleeping.
Because without this, the rest of it is.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're like running Ironmans if your brain is not sending good messages to you.
Kudos to those who run Ironman.
Yeah,
never on my list of something I want to do.
No, I don't need to do that. I like to take naps. I mean, maybe people that run Ironman take naps.
Maybe.
They might. I don't want to judge.
That's right.
I don't know.
Do what you need to do.
Do your thing.
That's right.
Right.
Number 8 would be, what is your biggest passion?
I want to say naps, but that's probably not a good answer.
There's no wrong answer.
My biggest passion, I mean, what I really am dedicated to for myself and for others is just finding what works for me. Like finding my own internal goals and desires, you know, operating in a way that's like just mine, like not measuring myself to the standards of others and not comparing myself to others. Like it seems like kind of like a big thing and a weird thing to say your passion, because I would think people would be like biking or cooking or whatever, but like my passion really is, and it's like a full-time practice, like charting my own unique path, not comparing and defining, you know, success for myself, and hopefully inspiring other people to do that too.
Honestly, I mean, that is one of the things that you help, because that is the mission I am on. And so having the inspiration and the support of you and the conference that you're providing has helped me along that path, because it can be a very hard and lonely path.
Oh, it's so hard.
And you get filled with self-doubt and what the hell am I doing? And it's hard. And you've had a lot of different twists and turns upon your path.
Absolutely.
Like, really, I didn't know you were a spin instructor until today.
Yeah, that was my first business. I opened a cycling studio.
Oh my gosh. I got a little Peloton at home, so.
Yeah.
Sidebar, I'd never taken a spin class a day in my life.
And you bought a Peloton.
But I was 39 and knew 40 was coming and needed to like drastically change my exercise routine.
Yeah.
And the time that works out for me to work out is in the morning before my kids are awake. And so I can't leave them at home while they're sleeping. So I said, screw it. And I bought a Peloton. Then I was like, oh, this is what spin is. This is hard.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I have it. It's a really good, intense workout. It's convenient and
it can be hard, or you can make it not hard.
True story.
It's like your thing. That's what I like about it, is that it doesn't have the intimidation factor of like lifting weights or like
Right.
other things where you like compare yourself to other people and you can
Mhm.
like see what other people are doing, and if you're doing
Yes.
less or more, like that's what I like about spin, that it's like it's your own thing, you control the resistance and your intensity and nobody else can know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, I know there's like metrics that you can share and stuff, but you don't have to participate
Right.
if you don't want.
And whatever your day is feeling, you can go whatever strength you
Right, and you can listen to really loud music.
Good music.
Really.
Jam out. Cool. Number 9, I kind of already got a preview to this, so I kind of know the answer, but what are you reading currently? And do you read more than one book at once? So are you reading multiple things?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't normally do that actually. I usually like read a book and finish it.
Yeah.
But well, I'm in a book club, which I told you about.
Yes.
Reading Playing Big by Tara Moore. If you
So
haven't
good.
read it, read it.
I'm not in the book club, but it
Oh,
happens to be what I'm reading right now.
Oh, good.
Love
It's like
it.
a life-changing book. I've read it like 4 times.
Right.
It's so good.
Loving it.
I'm also reading Miranda Anderson's
Her
More
new
Than Enough.
book?
She is a Rebelle community member. She's going to be speaking at our fall conference.
Yay.
And her book is basically about practical minimalism.
Yeah.
She is a mom and has 3 kids. And so it's more about like figuring out the role that stuff is playing in your life and trying to unhook from that, because definitely people buy things as a way to like numb and
Yeah.
to like get a shock of feel good. And so just kind of looking at that. So that's really interesting. And then I'm reading a like super light novel that now the name escapes me, but it's in Reese Witherspoon's book club.
Oh, well, there you go.
And she has like just really like light, cute books.
Is she an author, or is it like
No,
Oprah's book
It's
club?
like Oprah's book
Okay,
club. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. No, Reese didn't write it. But I find that like I can't read too much self-help, self-improvement, or else I like get kind of anxious. So I
Yeah.
have to read either like a really like murder mystery
Mhm.
like book,
Yeah.
or like a super light, like not necessarily like a romance, but like I don't know, like an interesting character kind
Yeah,
of book.
something just fun
Easy
and not so intense.
It's not serious. It's just fun.
You
Yeah.
can escape life. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I read like at the beginning of this year, like back to back to back to back memoirs,
Oh,
and
that's heavy
even
stuff.
that I was like, I mean, they weren't all super heavy, but still, it's like, great. I just need like something that's not real, like
Because you don't want to always have to think while you're reading.
right. Well, and I like to read right before I go to bed. So
Oh, yeah.
sometimes. Well, I had a time when I had like really, really bad anxiety that I could not read self-help books before I went to bed, or I wouldn't be able to sleep.
Yeah.
Because I'd be all like,
I struggle with when to read in my day because of that exact feeling, because I'm
Yeah.
reading
you
developmental
should
books.
do it in
and
the
so-
morning.
Yeah, I have to work out then, or I'm not going to.
And you can't read and spin. Those
No.
don't go together.
No, not so good. But
Mm.
I do a lot of Audible. for that
Oh
reason.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
somebody reads to me.
Yeah.
It's like being a child again.
Yeah.
So good. All right, we're at number 10. So last question is, what is your best life hack or tip or quote to share with other women? And you kind of mentioned the quote from Rage Against the
I mean, that's the
Machine.
best quote ever.
Yeah.
Life hack or tip? I think, I mean, something that I always like talk whenever I like do talks or like give speeches. It's 2 things. Is that okay? Is it
Yeah.
cheating? Okay.
No,
So-
no rules.
Okay. The 2 things that I really like to talk about often with women, especially when you're kind of starting, like getting into this kind of work, is asking for help and boundaries. Like, those are basically the 2 keys, I think, to like living a successful life.
Yeah.
You have to be able to have appropriate boundaries, say no, and you have to be able to ask for help. So like if you're gonna take anything to like go practice or go learn about, like those 2 things are so foundational. And I think motherhood made me look at those in a totally different way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are my 2.
Motherhood, that'll break us.
In the best way though, right?
Absolutely.
I
Like,
learned
you're forced to confront
so-
so much and become such a better person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's serious boot camp right there.
Yeah.
All right, well, that is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yes.
So again, we're gonna wrap up here, but we are going to continue our conversation.
Yep.
And you will find that in the link below, so you can tap into the blog and get some of the deep thoughts from Shannon. And then from there, again, go check out rebellecon.com.
Yeah, come
Okay.
see me.
And definitely come to the conference. We'll see you there in the fall. Cheers, everybody.
Bye.